Hey guys, this is going to be a really important video. Okay, this video is on speculative investing. So this is not like the Million Lords song. This is not some fun video just for a laugh. This is serious stuff. This can change your life if you execute properly. Okay, speculative investing is like some people think it's gambling, but I don't think so because the odds are in your favor. Okay, if you do it right and you do it for long enough, you will eventually hit it big. You know, it's like buying lottery tickets where the odds are heavily in your favor. You know, was Apple, Amazon, Google, and Netflix, were they lottery tickets 20 years ago? People thought so, but now they're all trillion-dollar companies. You know, Netflix isn't quite yet, but basically, speculative investing, you can put down an amount of money which you can afford to lose, which can change your life if it hits it big, if it goes up 10 or 20 times. You know, with exponential growth, these things can often go up 10 or 20 times, you know. If you put down, say, 10% of your investable funds, if you have 100 grand in your 401k, you can save up 10 grand, put it in Ethereum, which I think is the best speculative investment right now, and I'll tell you why later, but I'm still on speculative investing right now. So if you put 10 grand in Ethereum, it could be life-changing for you 10 years down the road, you know? And the mistake that most people make is that they're happy with a small gain, and by small I mean like 50% or double, and they miss out on the chunk of the largest chunk of the gains, you know? For example, even me, I made about a 600% return on Apple stock, but that was because I bought fully margin. The stock only doubled, but I own more than my actual net worth in Apple stock because I bought heavily margin. Now I wouldn't recommend that for most people. You know, that was just a huge gamble that I got lucky with and paid off. But anyway, with Apple stock, that was my big speculative investment. The reason it was speculative was because of the margin borrowing. Most people wouldn't have considered that speculative. This is about 10 years ago when it was already a pretty big company. You know, the iPhone had been out for a few years already. It was already a $100 billion company. Now it's a $1 trillion company, you know? So, I mean, at what point did that go from being a speculative investment to a mainstream investment? By the time it became a mainstream investment, I lost interest in it. That's when I sold, and it kept going up after that. So I sold a few years ago when even Warren Buffett was buying Apple. By then I thought, well, now it's too late. But it kept going up because they have so many advantages being number one in their industry. So anyway, now the reason I like Ethereum as the best speculative investment, there's many reasons, okay? So what I look for in a speculative investment is a big idea which is on its way to being executed. And to me, there's nothing better than Ethereum right here, right now. So I've been following Ethereum since 2018 for almost 3 years now. And I was really intrigued by the idea of Ethereum Casper. So for people that aren't familiar with Ethereum, Ethereum is the #2 cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin is the #1 cryptocurrency. You can compare Bitcoin to basically gold. So Bitcoin is a store of value. The reason it's a store of value is because it's the original cryptocurrency. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin ever minted and never more. And so you won't have supply pressures, inflationary pressures. So you can't just print Bitcoin willy-nilly like you can with a lot of cryptocurrency. So now Ethereum, the #2 cryptocurrency, is like a company. If Bitcoin is like gold, Ethereum is like a company, okay? So it's riskier, but it has bigger upside. So the reason is because Ethereum has far more developers than Bitcoin. Ethereum has many developers which are trying to improve the blockchain. They're trying to upgrade the infrastructure. They are transitioning to Ethereum 2.0. So when they transition to Ethereum 2.0, it's going to happen in 3 phases. They call it phase 0, phase 1, and phase 2. Right now, we just started phase 0. So phase 0 just started in December. It went live. So this is like kind of like the ground floor. People think, oh, well, I mean, Ethereum's been around for a while. When it first came out, it was like $4, and now it's $1,100. Isn't it too late? Well, Ethereum is a huge idea. So if it succeeds, it still has a long way to go. Can you imagine if banks started using Ethereum? Just as an analogy, Visa, the credit card company, can do 1,700 transactions per second. Ethereum can do 15 transactions per second. Bitcoin can only do about 4 transactions per second. So right now, if you do a Bitcoin transfer, you may have noticed it's extremely slow and very frustrating because you're worried that maybe your crypto didn't even get through. It might be lost somewhere. So you're sitting here for 15 minutes or longer, and not to mention you have to pay a fee of about $15 to make the transfer. So this is impractical as a transactional currency. That's why Bitcoin is a store of value. You buy it and you just never move it. Okay, now if you want to transfer crypto, if you want to trade crypto, or if you want to actually buy something with your crypto, Ethereum is much better because Ethereum transfers much faster and the fees are much lower, and it's only going to improve because with Ethereum 2.0, what they're doing is they're using 64 parallel blockchains. They're called shards. Okay, so for you gamers, you know about this. These are like different servers, okay? So the problem is when you have 64 different shards, you have to connect them all in the end. So that's what the beacon chain does. Okay, with Ethereum 2.0, which just launched, the beacon chain, which also launched staking, okay, it went from proof of work to proof of stake, actually increases the bandwidth from 15 transactions a second to when it's complete in perhaps a year, hopefully sometime this year. Ethereum will be able to handle, according to Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, will be able to handle 170,000 transactions a second, 10 times more than Visa. Right now, they handle 100 times less than Visa. Okay, so Bitcoin right now handles 4 transactions a second. The only way you can increase the bandwidth on Bitcoin transactions is by increasing the size of the blocks or decreasing the time it takes to write a block, or you can do both. So if you do both, there's trade-offs. I've read some articles about this, and theoretically, the limitation for Bitcoin is about 150 transactions a second, nowhere near the potential of Ethereum. And so, we've already had a lot of congestion on both Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchains, and this has shown the limitations of Bitcoin, whereas Ethereum has enormous potential. And now they're starting to realize that potential, which is why now is the perfect time to buy Ethereum. So just for example, there was a game that came out, CryptoKitties, okay? It was a game where you collect these pets and you raise, if you get a rare one, you can breed them, and if you get lucky, you get a rare one. It could be worth, I think at the time they could be worth like up to 100 grand. It was getting ridiculous. But it congested the entire Ethereum network. So basically transaction fees went up to ridiculous amounts. It cost like $100 to transfer Ethereum. It became useless, not to mention how slow it was. So this is why Ethereum 2.0 is such a big deal. Okay, so the first phase just started. So the first phase, they call it phase 0, just started with staking. So personally, I have some Ethereum staked on an exchange called KU Coin. They have a pool called Pool X where you don't have to do anything. You just deposit your Ethereum there, convert it to Ethereum 2, and then it generates a return. The reason it generates a return is because, well, right now, they are just doing the building blocks for the transition from Ethereum to Ethereum 2. The concept is that in the future, when the entire project is complete, hopefully sometime this year, when all 3 phases are complete, then all the transactions will move from the Ethereum blockchain to the Ethereum 2 blockchain. And instead of people mining Ethereum using mining rigs with graphics cards built in parallel, which is really energy intensive, now they're going to go to proof of stake, where if you deposit a certain amount of Ethereum, you can validate a proportional number of transactions, and as a reward, you get a return. Okay, so you are entitled to the fees generated by that network. So you're kind of like you're a stakeholder in the network. So if you deposit, say, $10,000 worth of Ethereum, so about 10 Ethereum, right now the return is 13%. So over a period of a year, you would get $1,300. So the return is expected to go down over time. Right now, people still don't understand it, or they haven't gotten a chance to do it, or maybe they think it's risky. But the returns are not going to be 13% forever. But the fact that there is a return is huge, because that's what I like about real estate. Real estate is an investment where you can live off of your investment without, you never have to sell the real estate. You can hold on to real estate for your entire life. It generates cash flow from the rent. You can borrow money, buy more real estate, and just compound your investment without ever selling it. So now crypto, the problem with crypto previously was no matter how much it goes up, you can never benefit from how much it's gone up by selling it. And then once you sell it, now you're missing out on all the appreciation, right? So when do you sell? I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to sell my Bitcoin. But with Ethereum, I'll probably never sell, because I can just generate income from staking. You know, the amount that you generate is going to be determined by the price of Ethereum. So you can imagine a situation where your $10,000 worth of Ethereum, let's say, just for the sake of doing the math, let's say it goes up 100 times. You know, it could happen. Okay, now you have $1 million worth of Ethereum, and it's generating $50,000 a year in staking. Now, you can live off of that for the rest of your life. You never have to sell it, much like real estate. You know, so I'm not saying that's going to happen. I mean, I would be happy if Ethereum went up 500% in the next 5 years, but it could happen because it's such a big idea. Okay, it's an idea who's as ambitious as the internet. It could be the biggest thing since the internet if it works out. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. Okay, so I mean, that's why Ethereum is about 1/6 the size of Bitcoin, because there's so many things that can go wrong. But I think Ethereum has the potential to pass Bitcoin in overall market cap and overall size. So it has enormous potential. That's it for this video. Make sure you like and comment below and subscribe. Thanks.